officer. You have 5 seconds to leave the premises. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Adventure, that's what we call it. It's a mixture between, a blend between tactical combat and adventuring.
Okay.
Yeah, real-time adventuring.
When you say tactical, the first thing I think about, I mean, and a lot of people probably think is like an XCOM-y type feel, but the adventure part, can you explain the exploration and stuff like that? Really got me.
Yeah, well, the exploration, we wanted to build like a really interesting world because the game's based upon like a really interesting franchise. So what we wanted to do was make a game that you could explore and look around and find interesting stuff in the world. And it tells a story, a visual storytelling. Also, the real-time mode allows you to walk around and position your characters. So when you get into a tactical situation, you're kind of pre-prepared. You can ambush enemies, for example.
So that is the biggest difference between other games of its type. That this one, and you will probably be able to see it as we watch these clips here.
Yeah.
But it moves seamlessly between combat, in and out of combat.
Yes.
Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, so if you get to a combat situation, if you can actually achieve your goal of killing the enemies or defeating them in the combat situation, you'll snap back into a real-time situation. So it moves seamlessly between the two. So you can tackle levels and parts of the game in different ways each time.
Now, did he just sneak past the battle?
Yeah.
Is that what? Okay, so
you can do that to some degree. You can't sneak all the way from the start to the end of the game. That would be probably a bad idea.
Sure.
From our part, right?
Right. Yeah,
but you can avoid certain battles. You'll find enemies in levels that are a little bit too hard for you to fight. So those are the people you would come back and fight a bit later in the game.
Yeah, I was going to ask, real-time stealth is something that you guys mention a lot. Going in and out of these battles, now, if I'm the type of player that likes to go in guns ablaze, can I do that?
Yeah, well, you can do that. It'll just put the difficulty level up quite a fair degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. And someone, I put my schedule out on Twitter and I said, hey, these are the games I'm going to be doing today. And someone said, oh my God, you're doing Mutant Year Zero. And I went, why are you excited about that? It's a brand new game. Little did I know that.
Yeah, that it's based upon a classic pen and paper RPG from Sweden.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea. He was telling me there are people like coming up to him like, oh, that's so great. You're gonna do this like this for my childhood. It's like if like the first Dungeons and Dragons game for us. Like someone makes a game like that, it's gonna get your attention.
Yeah,
for sure.
People are coming up to me in the street and they're saying, oh, Mutant. Oh, I used to love that.
Wow.
You working on the game? I just want to shake your hand. That's what they're saying.
Such a good feeling.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't know anything about Mutant until I came to work in Sweden, and then it became obvious that everyone knows about this.
Now, looking into your trailer, there's a lot going on in that trailer. There's a lot of emotion, and you can already see personalities of different characters. Will we be introduced to more characters as the story goes along?
Absolutely. There will be more characters you can discover and you can recruit. Actually, you start the game with the two characters, Boorman and Ducks, the boar and the duck.
Okay.
And you will recruit more characters as you go through. And you can keep a squad of 3 characters at any time, but you can swap. As long as you're not in combat, you can swap at any point your roster of characters.
Oh. Yeah. So about that, my problem is when it comes to a lot of those games like that is the leveling.
Yeah.
Okay. So if I swap a character out, but I really like this other character, but I wanted to try a new one, will they both get leveled, or you have to level individually?
Okay. We did think a lot about having how the leveling works for the game, and we actually originally had the characters level up independently. A lot of games, that's a bit of a problem because what happens is you get into a point where you've got like a character you don't use very much, and they become like a load of dead weight.
Right.
So what we do, we have a squad leveling up all together at the same time. So that way we don't get any characters that we don't want to use at some point.
Now, as you move through the game, since it goes from controlling the player as you're navigating the world to like a battle thing, how does like a loadout work?
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, there's no set loadout. They do have a specific mutation tree, which is, because the game's called Mutant, it would make sense that we have mutations for the characters.
Sure, yeah.
And that's like special abilities they can do, like they can grow wings, or they can charge through walls, or turn their skin to stone, this kind of thing.
Okay.
These are specific to the characters, and there's a tree you can unlock these with certain, when you're leveling up, and you can buy these from this mutation tree. But the loadout, there's weapons and things to be found in the world, and you can buy weapons, and so you can mix and match these things around.
Okay, so characters are not like locked into one weapon.
No.
Okay,
you
because
can
that's
mix and
way
match the
different than I'm
weapons.
used to. Like,
absolutely.
you get one heavy guy, he's got the heavy weapon. Like,
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But you can actually there's a variety.
Yes, and you can put you can basically give them armor and other items that will give them advantages in certain things. So you could give somebody a armor that gives them a protection against fire, or give them armor that gives them, or a headgear that will give them a high ground advantage. So when they're sniping, they get a percentage increase. So yeah, you can mix and match. You can tailor make. You can nominate this character as the sniper, and this character as the tank. Yeah.
To go off of that, is there any crafting or any customization to weapons or any in-depth modes of that such way?
Yes, there is. You can upgrade your weapons. You can collect broken weapon parts around the world. And there's a workbench in the Ark, which is where the mutants live. It's their sort of stronghold. So yeah, you can upgrade your weapons. You can also find attachments you can add, which give the weapons certain properties, like electrical, EMP properties, fire properties, and whatnot.
I love the way you say it like a kid who's like, you can put fire on it, you can put electricity on it, awesome. You can zap somebody with your baseball bat. You put like, dude, I love your enthusiasm. It's infectious.
But it's
really cool.
great. I mean, I'm all right at the game. I'm the producer for the game, so I'm okay. And I'm pretty good. I can go through and play most levels. But when the guy said, "Hey, we've finished the attachments for the game," so I was like, "Yeah, this is great." And there's that annoying guy. I put the fire thing on the gun, and it was great. Yeah, I had a real good time burning the hell out of people.
Now, can we talk a little bit about the map and the story progression, like moving from location to location and getting pieces of story?
Yeah, I mean the story. I won't go into too much detail right now about the story. Don't want to spoil it.
Absolutely.
But as you go through the game, the story will be revealed. There's a narrative that you'll go through, and there's dialogue between the characters. But yeah, I mean the map. It's quite a big map. It's actually linked together. Everything is connected, so you can walk from one side of the world to the other. But it is in separate sections.
Okay.
But as you go through, you'll reveal different areas. You'll also get some hints. So when you go into the Ark, you'll get hints as to where other interesting areas are, and they'll appear on your map, and you can go in and explore those as well.
Now, do you go back and forth between, like, you'll see the same area a couple times if you're traveling, like you go all the way west, and then you come back, you'll go through the same areas?
You can do, and there will be things to do when you go back through those areas. There might be tough enemies that you couldn't really manage before, or items perhaps you should go and look for, or hidden areas. But you can fast travel. Once you've got through an area, or you've discovered it, you can fast travel to it as long as you're not in combat.
Okay.
Wow. I gotta say, man, the look of this game.
The lighting is
amazing. The lighting, the shadows, it is phenomenal. But the first time I was able to listen to the trailer, the sound design is really, really good as well.
Well, our sound designer is going to be super happy. Well,
shout outs. I mean,
confirmed.
That's yeah.
We love you, even if we don't say it. All gamers do love sound design. It's not something that's like the first thing out of our mouth, but it should be.
Yeah, we call him Mozart. His nickname is Mozart, actually, and he's we have an audio designer and we have a sound designer. Sorry, we have an audio designer and we have a composer.
Right.
Mozart's the composer, and he made a really good soundtrack for the game. One of the first things I really liked about the game when I got to try it out before I started working with the team, because they'd already started work on it, was the sound had this really good 80s synth thing going on in there, and I was like, this is cool.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we really did a good job on the sound, I think, for the game.
Well, ran out of time, man.